Hello, welcome to CoreTV News on the Hour. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. President Muhammadu Buhari on Sunday urged African leaders to place the interest of their countries above narrow personal interests. He gave the charge while chairing the African Union Peace and Security Council meeting at the ongoing AU Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa. The president noted that as the meeting of PSC focused on the situations of South Sudan and Burundi, it required the leaders to put the situations in both countries in proper context. He said the people of the continent are suffering while their political leaders are bickering among themselves. He noted that the continent was inundated with conflicts of diverse forms, including the crisis in Burkina Faso, Mali, Libya, Central African Republic, South Sudan, and more recently in Burundi. The Nigerian president added that the leaders must make deliberate efforts to save the face of Africa. President Muhammadu Buhari on Saturday had directed that $21 million out of the pledge of $100 million which Nigeria made to the multinational joint task force be released within the next 1 week. Buhari disclosed this while chairing the meeting of the African Union Peace Security Council at the ongoing 25th AU Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa. He said he gave the directive based on the decision of the recent extraordinary summit of the Lake Chad Basin Commission and Benin Republic. The $13 million should be immediately made available to the multinational joint task force, which is saddled with the responsibility of fighting the Boko Haram terrorist group. He said the global nature of terror required all countries to act in brotherhood and partnership and wage war against agents of evil. Following the wrangling between some leaders within the All Progressives Congress on the emergence of Bukola Saraki as Senate President and Yakubu Dogara as the Speaker, House of Representatives, the quarrel concerned citizens is wanting anyone to desist from their disreputable ways against the APC National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed. The group affirms that the statement made by the National Publicity Secretary of the party is not his own, but that of the party, says he articulates the position of his party at many levels, including inter- and inter-party, national, as well as the international. The group says it is expected at all times to put the interest of the party above its own personal interest. It says it will be unfair, illogical, to conclude that Lai Mohammed's statement conveying the immediate reaction of his party to the elections in the National Assembly means he is opposed to the election of his kinsman, Bukola Saraki, as the President of the Senate. Offices of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice and the National Security Advisor have denied involvement in the recovery of the money looted from the nation's treasury by a former head of state, the late General Sani Abacha. This was in contrast to the claim by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, which is an affidavit that filed with respect to a suit before Justice Ahmed Mohammed of the Federal High Court in Abuja, which attributed the custody of the information on the recovered money to the offices of the Attorney General of the Federation and the National Security Advisor. The counterclaims by the key government offices are reviewed in court papers filed in the suit seeking under the provisions of the Freedom of Information Act, detailed information on the looted money so far recovered from Abacha. The plaintiff, a non-governmental organization, Legal Defense and Assistance Project, had 4 years ago in 2011 instituted a suit with the EFCC as the sole defendant after the commission refused the request for the information. Decision taken by the governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, to reduce the number of ministry in Kaduna State to 13 from the erstwhile number of 24 has attracted criticisms from a section of the public, especially the media's past Attorney General of Kaduna State, Shehu Garba. They deal of the opinion that the governor needed the State House of Assembly permitting him to tinker with the number of ministries. Meanwhile, speaking in a press release signed by the former House of Representatives candidate Jamal Sanga Federal Constituency, Altama Samari, said the governor acted in compliance with the provisions of Section 192, subsection 1 of the Constitution, and not that he acted arbitrarily. He says budgetary provisions, for example, are made and announced before saying is presented to the legislature for deliberation and passage into law. They should criticize objectively and desist from allowing political considerations to becloud their senses of judgment. The Lagos State chapter of People's Democratic Party has called on Governor Kyomi Ambode to publicly declare his assets. He was asked by the major opposition party in the state to do so on or before June 29. In a statement issued on Sunday by its publicity secretary, Taufik Gani, the PDP charged Ambode to personally make public in the media his assets as and when sworn as the present governor of the state. According to the PDP, if the governor fails to take up this moral challenge, he will thereafter be labeled governor pretender throughout his tenure. The PDP posits that the necessity for the present governor of Lagos State to make public his present assets is more ignited by the huge foreign and local debt of nearly ₦1 trillion now left behind by the past governor, who has been linked to many personal bank accounts and property within and outside the country. You're still watching CoreTV News on the Hour. We'll take a quick break and be back with more stories. Please stay with us.
As news breaks, people don't let events pass without giving their comment or reactions.
When the problem arises in society, these are the people that should be consulted.
To cleanse the corruption in society, we are not to provide information for good life and also security of life and property in this country.
The academic society have the loudest voice on this platform.
Whether you call it a sovereign national conference or a national conference, it is about the people of Nigeria.
There should be a change in power.
In any way they can do it.
I think there's a script already.
Every Tuesday at 8:45 p.m. on this station. From the Ivory Tower, a must-watch for the learning minds.
The Kwara State chapter of Independent Petroleum Marketers has called on the federal government to deregulate the oil sector with emphasis on the pipeline, stating that the maintenance contracts let out by the past administration was ambiguous. Making this call in Ilorin, Kwara State capital, the association says the maintenance contract, instead of securing the pipelines, has resulted in more pipeline vandalization, but usually wind up throughout investigation. Rashid has more.
The resolve of the new administration to look into the corruption perpetrated in the oil sector is no doubt sending signals across the subsectors as the stakeholders are coming up with suggestions in making the sector transparent. More so, as Muhammadu Buhari-led government says the Port Harcourt refinery is set to resume operation, calling on the government to revisit the issue of frequent pipeline vandalism and the maintenance contract by the past administration. The Kwara State chairman of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association, Olariwaju Okonlawo, noted that the issue of pipeline vandalization could be best tackled by private companies who have expertise to manage and monitor the pipeline.
Because when we, as of today in Lagos, they are selling 95 naira, and we have transportation costs. The cost of transportation to Ilorin is 250,000, and the PEF will pay us 105. How do we get the argument? Sometimes our truck will be in Lagos for a lot of days before loading. Ilorin depot was designed to be a bridging depot to the north. There are a lot of space, parking space. Even those in Ilorin town, we don't know there is any truck in Ilorin.
With the local production of petroleum products on the way, Olariwaju calls on federal government to repair the Ilorin depot of NNPC, which he said could serve the entire northern state.
The pipeline issue. That is why we are calling for total deregulation. I'm very sure if the pipeline was in the hand of the private sectors, I don't think we have any complaint that the vendors are not allowing them to pump to Ilorin. They're supposed to manage the line so that the product will get to this place. So we urge the government to assist us in that.
The searchlight of Buhari's government is no doubt in the oil sector, and Nigerians eagerly await the outcome of a major policy that will sanitize the sector in days to come.
The Department of Petroleum Resources in Eket, Akwa Ibom said it had sealed off 30 and suspended 7 filling stations from operations in the state in 1 month over illegal practices. The DPR controller of operations in Eket, Azukwo Antai, told the news agency of Nigeria in Eket that the stations were closed for under-dispensing and overpricing of their product. He further said the suspended 7 petrol stations were given products for various stations which were diverted to unknown places. According to Zuko, over 30 petrol stations will have been sealed in the last 1 month. He, however, expressed regret that petroleum dealers in some areas still sold the product above the approved pump prices. According to the controller, the culprits are in police detention in the state. The Plateau State House of Assembly has received commendation for the manner it conducted itself in electing the principal officers of the 8th Assembly, which saw the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker emerging from different parties. A member of the House representing Shedem constituency, Henry Yinkwap, gave the commendation while speaking at JUST. The report.
The member Henry Yinkwap was speaking on the unique arrangement that saw the emergence of an APC member as a speaker despite the People's Democratic Party having 30 members, while the APC has 11, and this was done to ensure smooth running of the State House of Assembly.
The Plateau State House of Assembly, being an important arm of the government, is already exhibiting that unionism, that unity, so that the Plateau project will be a reality.
Yinkwap expressed optimism that the 8th Plateau State Assembly has laid a strong foundation that will engender unity and subsequent development. He added that the State House of Assembly will play its part to ensure that the state gets to the next level.
It was a marriage of union. It was a strong union that laid a foundation for a solid beginning of the 8th Assembly, where the members of PDP, even though they are the majority, considered and supported us to bring up the Speaker in APC, which is a very good development. In fact, this government is coming as a government of unity to unite.
He, however, called for the emulation of the example of the Plateau State House of Assembly.
The Speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Peter Aze, has called on Plateau residents to pursue peace and peaceful activities vigorously if their desire is to see investors come to the state. The Middle Belt state has not known tranquility due to the communal clashes, cattle rustlings, bomb explosions, and insurgent attacks that have become part of its civil life. The report.
With the sudden change of former ruling party PDP in Plateau State, many are calling for peace and order to salvage what is left in the state, whose pride is home of peace and tourism. The Speaker of Plateau State House of Assembly, Peter Aze, says it is time for all meaning citizens of the state to work for total attainment of peace and peaceful coexistence.
We should try to be together, have our desks together, together so that we assist the government, and then we should be peace-loving people. At least we are yearning for this baby atmosphere we have gotten. We want it to continue, in fact to improve, so that everybody will definitely get investors.
He states due to insurgency ravaging the state, there is need for proper development in the state. He now calls on residents to allow peace and tranquility to reign in the state.
Investors cannot come with an atmosphere of crisis. They can only come at the atmosphere of peace. So I'm enjoying every citizen of the state, Nigeria, and anybody that finds himself here to be peace-loving citizen.
Kaduna State Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai has said that his administration will complete the Zaria water project and break whatever jinx is stolen the project that is years behind schedule, despite already costing the state billions of naira. The governor at the weekend, who was speaking when he paid an unscheduled visit to the project site in Zaria, directed the contractors to present to him the comprehensive details of the project. In a statement signed by his special assistant on media and publicity, Samuel Aruwan, the governor said the non-completion of the project is also responsible for the perennial lack of water in Zaria town and the neighboring 7 local government areas in the state. Legacy Governor Akinwumi Ambode has called on Nigerians and corporate bodies to join hands in the fight against cancer. Ambode stated this as an event tucked the Banquet of Stars Against Cancer. Speaking through his deputy, Olunwoti Adebule, Ambode says the fight against cancer will be more successful through early detection, which could be possible through regular medical checkup.
The war against cancer is for everyone to fight, as hardly can one find someone who is not related directly or indirectly with at least one cancer victim. Lots of lives are lost globally every day to this scourge.
Former Nigerian High Commissioner to United Kingdom, Christopher Kolade and Pat Uthomi, said access to qualitative public health is necessary in early diagnosis of the deadly disease.
Cancer, you know, there are different kinds of cancer. Then we know that we have to mobilize our best intelligence, our best efforts, and our best resources to fight this war.
So that as these clinics move around, people will get a chance to find out their status. Because as the doctors will remind us again and again when they speak to us, the key is in early detection.
A federal high court has dismissed the bail application brought by 6 former staff of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The accused persons, Patience Okoro, Afolabi Olufemi Johnson, Ilori Adekunle, Sunday Kolawale Babalola, Olaniran Muniru Adiola, and Fataya Dedokun Yusuf, are being prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for illegally recycling mutilated currency in excess of 8 billion naira. In dismissing their application, Trial Judge Justice Nathaniel Emmanuel said it was because of the gravity of the offense, which borders on the economy and well-being of the people of the country. The judge also warned counsel that it would not entertain frivolous applications before adjourning until July 6 and 7. In a similar development, Justice Emmanuel also dismissed the bail application brought by 3 former CBN staff and 2 from Stolen Bank staff. They were arraigned on an 11-count charge bordering on conspiracy, fraud and stealing after allegedly defrauding their banks of over 1 billion naira. A leader of the All Progressives Congress in Bayelsa State, Chief Barakama Bodo, has urged President Muhammadu Buhari not to interfere in the corruption charges brought against former Bayelsa State's Governor Cyprian Silva. Bodo, who was a former security advisor to Silva, said the president should give the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and judges handling the case free hands to try his former boss. Bodo, who spoke during a news conference in Yenagoa on Sunday, said the rearrangement of Silva by the EFCC on charges bordering on corruption allegations was proper and in order. He says his appeal is that President Buhari will not intervene in the case, urging that he should give the court and the EFCC free hands to handle the case. The efforts of the Ogun State Police Command to curb cult-related activities in the state, particularly in Ijebu-Ode and its environs, have paid off as almost 30 suspected cultists have been arrested within 1 week at various locations in Ijebu-Ode of Ogun State. The teams of special operations in Ijebu-Ode have carried out raids on many black spots and hideouts, including Fidipote Street, Ogbogbo Village, Italakbo, Imeweje Village, and some hotels in the area, which has led to the arrest of the prime suspects or ringleaders who had been involved in many criminal acts, including a series of killings of people in the area and in some other parts of the state. Some of the suspected cultists arrested by the police include Benga Banjo, aka Solution, Akim Fon, Dami, Jawando, real names yet unknown, Kazim or Balofun, Oluwatimileyin Babatunde, aka Mojek, Olotu Lukman, aka Eba, Neyo, and Oladele Oluniga. Some of the suspects have been arraigned in court in Ijebu-Ode. The United Nations has said an estimated 168 million children across the world, including Nigeria, between the ages of 5 and 14, work many full-time and many than often in conditions considered to be hazardous to their health. In a statement issued on Friday to mark the 2015 edition of the World Day Against Child Labor, The UN called for the international community to invest in quality education as a key step in the fight against child employment. According to the UN International Labour Organization, child labor keeps young children out of school, ensuring that their hopes for a more prosperous future remain unrealized. Asia and the Pacific still have the largest total numbers at 7 to 8 million. But sub-Saharan Africa continues to be the region with the highest incidence of child labor, with some 59 million, or over 21% of the child population. You're still watching CoreTV News on the Hour. We'll take a quick break. I'll be back with my stories. Please stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
And in the world of sports, Nigerian defender David Oniya died on Saturday after collapsing on the pitch during a friendly match between his Malaysian club T-Team and Kelantan. Local media said that T-Team's skipper, 30, collapsed 3 minutes into the match in Kota Baru and was taken to the hospital. T-Team CEO Suaren Mozayan said Oniya did not receive medical treatment quick enough. According to him, speaking with the New Straits Times, Oniya suffered a heart attack, but it could have been a different story had the ambulance driver was alerted. He said the driver was at the stands watching the game when Oniya suddenly collapsed and the defender was deprived of oxygen for several minutes. David Oniya was pronounced dead at the hospital. About 30 minutes later, he told the Star newspaper. Oniya had only just joined the Malaysian club this season after spells in Uzbekistan and Azerbaijan. A top Islamic militant who ordered a deadly attack on an Algerian gas plant 2 years ago has been killed in a U.S. airstrike in Libya, officials say. Mokhtar Belmokhtar was killed in the eastern city of Abjabia, a statement from Libya's government said. The U.S. says Belmokhtar was targeted and the strike was successful, but it is assessing the operation's results and will give details as appropriate. Mokhtar Belmokhtar's death has been reported many times in the past. Born in Algeria, Belmokhtar was a former senior figure in Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, but left to form his own militia. He gained notoriety with the attack on the In Amenas gas plants in Algeria in 2013, when about 800 people were taken hostage and 40 killed, most of them foreigners, including 6 Britons and 3 Americans. The U.S. has filed terror charges against him, and officials said they believed he remained a threat to Western interests. Meanwhile, Sudan's President Omar al-Bashir, who is wanted for war crimes, has left South Africa, preempting a court ruling over an international warrant for his arrest. The Pretoria High Court was due to decide whether he should be handed over to the International Criminal Court, which charged him with the crimes. Bashir was in Johannesburg for an African Union summit. A news conference will be held in Sudan's capital upon his arrival on Sunday. A judge barred Mr. Bashir from leaving until the arrest application has been considered. Omar al-Bashir is accused of committing war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide during the Darfur conflict. With that, it's a wrap on CoreTV News on the hour. Join us at 4 for a more comprehensive bulletin.